the young and free, young and free, young and free. This is what it feels like. 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 Feels like. Feels like. Feels like. This is what it feels like. When you're thinking of me, when you're thinking of me. This is what it feels like. To be young and free, young and free, young and free. This is what it feels like. When you're thinking of me, when you're thinking of me. This is what it feels like. To be young and free, young and free, young and free. What it looks.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to Box Seats. It's just me, Mo, today. I'm just going to talk about my team. You know, I have to sometimes come in sporadically and sprinkle some thoughts that I have about my team. Oh, excuse me. I had to pick up my phone real quick because, you know, I have to, you know, go through my data to see what's going on. Even though, you know, I kind of already know what's going on, but, you know, just to make sure I don't give any wrong information. But it was a good, you know, Champions League just happened. I'm not going to talk about a lot of other teams. I'm just really going to stick to Madrid because, you know, I'm going to wait for my patties, my co-host, my chums to come and talk about the rest of the, you know, what's going on with Champions League, because, you know, we're going to have to talk about Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, and also Tottenham. But I'm going to first start off with this weekend. Last weekend. Last weekend wasn't the best performance. We won. We squeaked out a win, but it wasn't the best performance. It isn't something that I would write home about. I would just say, you know, we got the win, you know, and that's the most important thing. But even though we got the win, I wouldn't say that I am satisfied with it because I didn't like the way we played. If it wasn't for Valverde, damn. I'm just realizing 2 games Valverde had 4 goals. Okay. But you might get a lot of that this episode. But if it wasn't for Valverde, and it was a lucky shot because, you know, the deflection, but if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have won this past weekend. So, you know, we squeezed that performance out with a win. But then, I'm not even going to lie to you. If you guys watched the episode we had before Champions League started, I think that was Monday, I wasn't confident about Champions League at all. I was really expecting us to lose, and I was expecting us to lose handily. I was actually expecting us to lose bad. Even if it wasn't, you know, bad by a goal scoring margin, I thought we were going to get outplayed. And, you know, if you're a Real Madrid fan, you can't blame me for feeling that way because this season has been a roller coaster. It's been up and down. There are times where you would think we are supposed to win and we don't. But then there are times that, you know, I'm thinking, shoot, we might not win it, and then we squeeze a match. But I will say one thing: I was proud of Real Madrid that day. That's the Real Madrid I wanted to see. From the time the whistle started, it was kind of rocky. City had possession. City were doing their thing, you know. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be a long night. But then we started to get a hold of the game. We started to get a grip. We started to find out, okay, this is what we're going to be able to do. And then out of the blue, which I'm not even going to front, I know Courtois he has a lot of great attributes about him. The only thing I'm usually iffy with him on are penalties. When it comes to making saves in game while ball is in play, when it comes to being a presence, when it comes to passing, because that pass to Valverde, I always knew he had that in his arsenal. He just doesn't get to display them a lot, because when we're part of this new age where it's all about possession, it's all about building up play from the back. But that pass from Courtois was amazing. I mean, that pass was a beautiful pass to Valverde. And what was even better than that pass was Valverde's first touch. That touch to push it past O'Reilly, and because O'Reilly was already going in one direction. So that push past O'Reilly was amazing, which actually, if you go back and watch it, O'Reilly was stuck. There was nothing he could really do. And so then it was all left to Donnarumma. And Donnarumma came out. And at first I was like, why would he even do that? But I realized he thought he was going to be coming out of the box, and he didn't want to commit a foul, because if he commit a foul, let's be real, he might have gotten a red card. He may have just gotten a red card. So I'm not really going to blame him for that. But that push by Donnarumma, and then when he pushed it by Donnarumma, I'm not going to lie to you, I was like, man, please be able to put this ball on target. And he was, and the finish was amazing. I enjoyed that whole goal. And then from there was no turning back. After that first goal, Real Madrid, there was no turning back. It was off to the races for Real Madrid. Real Madrid were constantly pushing and trying to score. But then you can't do it for 90 minutes. So there were times when City were pressing us. There were times where City were really pressing us. But the fact that our defense, that might have been the best defensive display I've seen for Real Madrid in the past 2 years. In the past 2 years, that might be the best defensive display I've seen from Real Madrid. Like as a complete unit, that might have been the best display. People were talking about Trent. Trent showed up, even though I'm not going to front, I'm not delusional. Trent did have a lot of help from Valverde. He had a lot of help from Valverde, and Valverde really helped him with directing him what he should do. Because I'm not even gonna lie to you, there was one play where Doku was at the edge of the box, and it was Valverde and it was Trent, and Trent was on the inside and Valverde was on the outside, and it looked like Doku was trying to do some dribbling, so he was trying to measure up which way he wanted to go, and he decided to go Trent's way. And Valverde, if you can go back, look at it, Valverde literally pushes Trent the way that Doku wanted to go, and Trent was able to make the tackle. So I will go by each of the players that played this past week. So first I was like, you know what, this was very impressive for Real Madrid. I was happy with it. Defensively, they stifled Haaland. To the point where he only had 10 touches, if you didn't know who Haaland was and you didn't know his number, you wouldn't even have known he was playing. That was how good defensively they were. I mean,
I was thinking at one point, Semedo was going to terrorize us. I said Semedo. Semedo is a fullback. Semenyo was going to terrorize us and put us in our place. But then next thing you know, man, they were able to hold him also. So I was really impressed with Real Madrid. This was the best Real Madrid performance I've seen in the past 2 seasons. I'm not even going to lie to you. It is. Real Madrid, let's go with Courtois. Courtois is our most consistent player this season. He arguably, you could say he's our best player, to be honest with you. I mean, he doesn't score the goals and he doesn't get a lot of assists, but we would have lost a lot of games. We would have lost a lot of games if it wasn't for Courtois. So Courtois did what Courtois does. That is kind of a tongue twister. But Courtois did what he does. He's consistent. He's always playing at his best. Rudiger, amazing. I mean, I'm not surprised. Every time he goes against Holland, from the time he was at Chelsea, he always was able to put pressure on Holland, make Holland look like a no-show, to be honest with you. Huijsen played a great game. I like the way he played. Maybe because it's a Premier League team, he played amazing. Because this season has really been a rocky season. This is the first season this is not first season, but this is the first time this season, besides the first couple of games, but besides that, this is the first game where I can honestly say Huijsen looked like Huijsen when he was at Bournemouth. I mean, he looked strong. He looked like he was decisive. The passing was there. He would dribble forward. He did an amazing job. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. Then we have Mendy. It's something about this dude, Mendy. You love him, but then you hate him. Because there are times where you can just be like, dude, what's going on with you? But I'm not gonna lie to you. Mendy's a good player, especially when it comes to defensively. Offensively, he's not the best. I'm not going to front with you. Offensively, he's kind of shaky. I don't trust him with the ball offensively, but defensively, rock solid. He was one of our best players against City this week. He stopped Savinho like it was nothing, and then he was just able to do what he does usually, and that he's a solid defensive player. The problem that I have with him, especially recently, is that he's always injured. 100% of the time he's injured. I guess because he has a contract season. This is his contract season. And that's the thing about him. Every time it's his contract season and everybody's like, you know what, we need to get rid of Mendy. That contract season, he ends up showing out and balling and looking like one of the best left backs in the world. Mind you, he did get injured, unfortunately, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say unfortunate. And that was his first game back in God knows how long. Like, that was his first start, really. And he did a good job. Unfortunately, he got injured. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out this time. I think he's going to be out. I know he's missing this weekend's match against Elche, and I know he's going to miss the next match against Man City. So Fran Garcia is going to have to come in and pick up, which when he came in the second half, he did play well. He actually played extremely well, to pick up from where Mendy left off. He got caught a few times, but Fran Garcia is not really a big, strong guy. He's really pace, but he was still able to get the job done, and Man City were still not able to score. Then we have Tchouaméni. What's there to say about Tchouaméni? Tchouaméni is our best midfielder right now. Our most consistent ones, especially. Tchouaméni balled. Tchouaméni did his thing. He was breaking up passes. There were times where he was carrying play. I've been hearing people, especially this season, talk about Tchouaméni and saying, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. Tchouaméni is a certain type of CDM. He is not a Toni Kroos type. Mind you, Toni Kroos could play CDM. But he's not that type of midfielder. He's not the type of midfielder that's going to direct you in where you should go and make that amazing, outstanding pass. That's not him. Tchouaméni is on those Conte, Makelele, he's those type of midfielders. Essien, he's that, not saying he's better than them or he's on par with them. I'm saying that those are his attributes. His attributes go with breaking up play, defensively, carrying the ball forward at times. You know, he's basically like our cleanup guy. And I'm not expecting Tchouaméni to distribute the ball like he's Toni Kroos or Pedri or somebody like that. I'm expecting him to break up passes, make the simple passes, get the ball forward when it's time to get forward and the ball is coming out of the box, maybe a loose ball. I want him to do what he's been doing for the past couple of games. When the ball's coming out and he's right there, take the shot. And I think that's one of our issues as Real Madrid. We don't take those shots. We're still trying to figure out, how are we going to pass the ball inside the box and score? Or how are we going to get the ball to Vinny or Mbappe? Look, there are times where you're going to have to take up the mantle and do that thing. And Tchouaméni has been doing that for the past couple of games. He's been doing that. I'm really proud of him. That's why I was always saying that I don't want to get rid of Tchouaméni. I do not. I want us to keep Tchouaméni. I want us to keep Tchouaméni and build around him in our midfield. We may need to pick up a playmaker, and we may need to pick up a deep line playmaker, and that's about it. Because we have playmakers that play that cam-like position. We have Jude. We have Arda Güler. They can play those forward type, cam type positions. We have a box to box, which is Valverde, who I'll be talking about when it gets there. But no, Tchouaméni's been one of our most consistent players this season. He's been he's been having a better season than everybody except Courtois and Mbappe. Those are the only two people that I can honestly say that have had a better season than Tchouaméni. And the only reason I'm saying that is because Tchouaméni is consistent. He has been very, very much so consistent. Next we have Pit Arch. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. I don't got that Spanish accent. I gotta hear his name a couple more times before I get it down packed. But I love him. From what I saw from watching that match this week, he only made one mistake, and that was the one where he had the ball and then he tried to he received the ball from I think it was from Courtois. He received the ball from Courtois and he wanted to dribble, and he got the ball in our box and he wanted to dribble out, and then O'Reilly got it and then poked did it like a poke shot, and Courtois saved it. But that was really the only mistake that he really made throughout that whole game. That guy runs. He's basically Valverde. I think he's a little bit better than Valverde, but he runs like Valverde. And when I say technical, I'm talking about the dribbling aspect. You know, he has that dribbling stuff down packed, you know. Just that's what I mean when I say technical, like that technical type dribbling type thing. He has that, but is he better than Valverde? Hell no. I don't think anybody except maybe Courtois and Mbappe are better than Valverde, and I'm giving Mbappe that because he's a goal scorer. But Pitarch, I hope I say it. Pitarch, I hope you see, I'm gonna be stuck on that, so forgive me. But Pitarch, he balled. I love the energy he gives. I love that he covers every single blade of grass. Like there was times where I even saw him helping Trent out in defense. Then I would see him on the left side. Then I would see him going forward, and then I would see him in the back. Like, I like that kid. I just think he needs a little bit more maturing. You know, he's only, I think, about 18, I believe. I think it's like 18. So he still has some work to do, you know. Even when he made that mistake, people weren't even like, I love the fact that Tchouaméni and Rudiger were like, don't worry about it. You made a mistake. Don't worry about it. Just don't let it happen again. But, you know, it happens. And so I loved the way he played. Guler had a good game. He had a good, solid game. Nothing to write home about, but it was impressive. It was a good, solid game. He did what he needed to do, and that was it. The only reason he really came out was because I know that we needed more muscle in that midfield to defend that 3-0 lead. So Arbiola ended up taking him out and putting Camavinga in, and you know. Next was Diaz. I was really doubting Diaz coming on because the game before he didn't have a good game. The game before that he didn't have a good game. So I was really kind of like, just start Gonzalo. Just start him. But I was wrong. It was good that he started Diaz because Diaz played extremely well. He looked really good. The way he carried the ball, the way he dribbled, the way he even, to be honest, his defensive work was even more impressive than his offensive work. I love that from him. I want him to keep doing that. Vinicius had a good game. It wasn't, you know, oh, great. You know, it wasn't a wow performance, but he did what he needed to do. He put the defense under pressure. When he got the ball, he attacked. This one seemed like he used more of his brain than anything, than just running wild and just trying to run and score. He actually played really well. It looked like he was more thought-provoking in his attacks. There would be times where he would take on defenders, but then there were times where he was like, you know what, nah, boom, let me pass the ball and make another opening. And I just love the way that they played all around. It was amazing. It was enjoyable as a Real Madrid fan. Now, you know, and then we had the players that came off the bench, you know, Mascherano, Angel, he's an academy player for Real Madrid. Fran Garcia came in, he played well. Danny Carvajal, he came in, he did what he needed to do. And Camavinga came in. But let me get to the man of the match, Valverde. I think the episode ago I was kind of critical of Valverde. Not like critical, like, you know, I'm not enjoying the way he plays or anything like that. I was more critical of, I was putting players above him. I put some players above him that after that performance, and I think I said he's a top 10 midfielder, but I don't think he's a top 5 midfielder. I have to eat my words. I have to take that back because Valverde is the best midfielder in the world. That's my opinion. You can take it how you want to take it. You can feel how you want to feel. Valverde is the best midfielder in the world. And I'm very close to saying he's the best player in the world. The reason I say that is because Valverde, how many players can play that if you put them in any position, they're going to excel at it? How many players can you say that about? Can't say that about a lot. Valverde, you put him at right back, he ends up becoming one of the best right backs in the world. You put him in midfield as a box-to-box midfielder, he ends up looking like one of the best midfielders in the world. You put him as a right midfielder, he starts looking like one of the best right midfielders in the world. To me, I know he played right mid against City. That did not look like he was playing right mid. It looked like he was playing right wing. That man looked like he was playing right wing the way he was playing. Because he was so far forward. You know, when you're playing right mid, you're still in midfield and you're still kind of, you know, in that area, and you're trying to pick you're trying to pick out what you're going to do in that area. Now this man was forward, high forward. This man ended up in like the striker position as a number 9 or as a cam. Like, this dude balled. Then not only was he so effective offensively, defensively, this guy was amazing. He went back to help Trent. He would come out nowhere to come and get a loose ball. This guy is amazing. Valverde is one of the best midfielders in the world. And it's hard for me to find any other midfielder better than him. Yes, Pedri's there. But people have to realize that being the best at something doesn't mean that you're the most talented. Being the best at something doesn't mean you're the most talented. Pedri is more talented than Valverde. But I don't think Pedri is better than Valverde. I have to eat my words. I don't think Pedri is better than Valverde. With all the things that and now this brings my thoughts about Valverde back, in the sense of, because of how the season was going, he wasn't really producing. I was like, I have to go. I can't say it. But this game helped me remember why Valverde is so valuable to Real Madrid and why Valverde is one of the best players in the world right now. He may not give you all the goals. He may not even give you all the assists. But the effort that he gives you offensively and defensively, nobody else gives you. Pedri doesn't run like Valverde. When was the last time Pedri even had, or Vitinha, or Neves? Who's another midfielder that you might want to name? Bernardo Silva, if you want to name him. Odegaard, Rice. I mean, none of them give the effort that Valverde gives. And it's not a fault to them, because I don't think that they have the engine that Valverde gets. It doesn't seem like Valverde gets tired. That guy just keeps running and doesn't stop. And so Real Madrid looked really good. I'm happy with the win. Do I think that this is the Do I think this is the turning point for Real Madrid? No, I have to see more. I have to see more from Real Madrid. I have to see what they're going to do this weekend versus Elche. I have to know what if this was just a one-off, because Real Madrid will wake up for certain teams. And this is what pissed me off watching that game. We won, and I was happy we won, but I was so upset because I was like, this proves what I was saying before. It wasn't Xabi Alonso's fault, and it wasn't even Arbeloa's fault when he first took over while we were losing. It's the players' fault. They haven't played, or Ancelotti's fault. It wasn't even his either. They haven't played this well since we won Champions League. That was the last time I can remember us playing really well. Like even if we didn't have all the possession, it was the effort, it was the fight. This is the first time I'm seeing that in 2 seasons. This proves that it was the players. To me, this proves that it was the players. Because this is the same squad from this past weekend. This is the same squad that played Benfica twice, or actually 3 times. This is the same squad that's played the past 5-6 matches. And this is the best that they've looked. So this isn't a tactical issue, nor is it a coach issue. It's a player issue. Our players have to step up. Our players have to step up. I know that people are saying, well, Real Madrid's motto is, you just let them go out there and play, and we don't need tactics. No. Everybody needs tactics. I get it. We want to be the anomaly. I get that. But we have to also realize what happens when what we're doing isn't work. You need something to do. Tactics. You need some tactics. And I think Real Madrid would be so much more dominant if we had tactics. Because there are teams that didn't used to have tactics. Let's be real. That Barcelona with Ronaldinho, Xabi, Iniesta, Eto'o, Gulli, Abidal, Puyol, Busquets, Iniesta, Xabi. I don't know if I mentioned those, but I'm saying them again. Or not even before Dani Alves, when they had Zambrotta there. Were they all about tactics? Were they really? You know what they used to do? They used to play, give Ronaldinho the ball, and Ronaldinho will find Eto'o. The only thing that I would say was tactical, which is the same thing with Real Madrid, is defensive-wise. It's how they defend. It's how they decide that they want to defend. That's the only thing I'll say. But I don't think that this squad has the aptitude to do what Zidane's Real Madrid did, where you could just concentrate on defensive tactics and just say, hey, go. Because from what I see is their positioning isn't always the best. Our positioning isn't always the best when it comes to Real Madrid. We have to improve on that. So I'm going to have to see more of this type of effort and this type of ferociousness and this type of mentality from Real Madrid for the rest of the season. That's the only way I'll be like, you know what? This squad is good enough for me. We might need to pick up some players, you know, to back up certain positions that we're having issues with, especially issues with injury. But right now, I'm still on the side of we still have a lot of work to do. I'm still on that side of we still have a lot of work to do, and that's the truth, to be honest with you. This was the best. I've seen Real Madrid.